This is Matrix Lord 212, and I am holding my fourth book in the Sorrow Separation Saga called Destiny's Calling. As you can see, this cover is absolutely amazing. They keep getting better and better. A great cover designer that I have. And I put a lot of different hidden things in the cover and the back cover. If you could really see, where am I? Hello, hi, right there. If you could look it up on the websites, it says Matrix Lord. And on the hardcover, only the hardcover that flaps over, on the bust it says 212. So I threw that in there basically, but a lot of different things. Let me get the cover back. A lot of different things on this cover that you can't really see it on this, but it wraps around. But it has all the titles of my books and future books on there. There's a store. They're all stores, so you have, this store that wraps around is the Sorrow Separation, then it's Tomorrow's Song, then it's Winds of Change, Destiny's Calling is this, then above here is, I can't, backwards, Loss of Ways, and the bust says, of course, the Sorrow Separation series, and then on the back we have my name, and we have a few different titles, future books, 9 years time, Yesterday's Story, book 10 possibly, not saying. And then behind it is Shadows Reign, Miseries Run, Greatness and Glory. So I have a lot of different hidden titles and stuff on the cover. Two kids, and then it gets very interesting because it seems like the characters are all here, but wait a minute, there's two different females, and the way it looked like it was the same female. Well, guess what? It isn't. This is basically my adventures, what I went through in the summer of 2010. Basically a direct sequel to Tomorrow's Song. Now, Tomorrow's Song, we showed a woman in an umbrella. Basically, it was the future. It was a woman coming out of her sorrow into my life. The relationship that I had in 2010, which was very brief, but it was very rewarding, amazing, and it gave me the confidence to be comfortable in my own skin and to show that happiness will come again. So, I basically told a little bit of it in here. I remain friends with the woman. She's a great person, great person, and I wish her the best in the world. And her, friendship, I value very much, and I'm glad that I had the opportunity to meet her, and I have a little bit of a relationship, but it was very nice. So anyway, this was a very happy time in my life, and it was put into the book. Now there's a few different other emotions in here as well. I'm not going to allude to that, but this book obviously is bigger. It keeps getting bigger and bigger, and it shows better things happening to you. Direct sequel, like I said, to Tomorrow's Song, I have the characters' names so you can understand who they are. This is the Sorrow Girl, which is on the cover of Sorrow Separation, on the cover of Winds of Change, on the cover of Loss of Ways, and in the cover of Shadows Reign. And this is the Tomorrow Girl, meaning like a future relationship, another relationship. Of course, that character is supposed to be someone like me. Basically, the Tomorrow Girl is featured in Tomorrow's Song, Destiny's Calling, and she is featured in Shadows Reign. So, a lot of different characters, and it's very interesting series. It's not just poetry, because it's like, it's poetry that tells a story. It's like a story in poetry form, but it's not continuous. It's, it has clues that gives you new information about my life, or based on my life, and there's a lot of different, there's other different emotions in there too. It could be a little angry, different things, but overall, I mean, this was an amazing book, and it leads, if you didn't know, you'll find out, I guess, if you ever have, if you ever buy the series, but the last poem always gives a hint of what the next book title is, or what it's going to be. At the end of Sorrow Separation book, actually the next to last poem, the word ended with, the word was song. And then the first title of the last poem was called Tomorrow. So that was Tomorrow's Song right there. At the end of tomorrow's song, it's basically Winds of Change. The end of Winds of Change is Destiny's Calling. The end of Destiny's Calling is Lost of Ways. And you get the picture, basically. We're leading into the next book. But the book series is not going straight forward. It goes back and forth in time. Because if you go straight forward, it's kind of, to me, it's kind of like boring. So we have Sorrow Separation, and then Sorrow Separation, I mean, there was the prequel, which was Winds of Change. So one of these days, I'm going to have like a diagram that's going to show which book is which and what order it is. But like I alluded to, I said, Sorrow Separation, Loss of Ways, Dark Days, and then Tomorrow's Song, Destiny's Calling, Greatness and Glory, Winds of Change, Shadows Reign, and 9 Years Time. So, tiers of 3, but they're all still same series. And eventually, the overall theme of the book is not going to go in the direction you expect it to go. The book series is supposed to finish where I'm actually happy, married, new life. That hasn't happened yet, so I can't really write about it. I don't feel it. So what I'm going to do with the series is going to continue, but the dynamics of it's going to change. There will be a book that will go so far back than I have any of these characters, with the exception of my character, and it will go all the way back to 1978, which is yesterday's story, and that's going to be an interesting take on the series because it deals with the thoughts of a child, what I thought of when I was that age, and how the world looks to a child, in the form of nightmares and shadows and different things, and it really ties in wonderfully with the future, thinking of the future, the series, the darkness, the light. That's going to be a very powerful book, and I'm very proud of it. I'm writing it as we speak, and that will be completely different. But the sci-fi series is actually going to be previewed in Shadows Reign book. There's going to be a few pages that's going to show off some characters as well as certain things that are in. I can't give the name until I get it copyrighted, but it's going to be a great sci-fi series. It's going to be more than a trilogy. It's going to go on a lot of different pages, and I hope it really takes off. And that is my baby, the sci-fi. That is my dream. That is what I've been writing since I was young, teenager. And you know what? That was supposed to be book 1. That was supposed to be the first book. I never envisioned this happening to me, going through this terrible ordeal with Sorrow Separation. But you know what? That story had to be told too. So my first love, my sci-fi book, will be coming. Look for it. I'm not really sure when. It's not going to come February 12th, 2012, my birthday. It's not. I cannot get it out. I have a lot of personal matters going on that's going to hold up my attention, as well as work. I'm going to be working soon again, so I can't get it out. But I promise that I'm not going to rush it out. But it's going to come when it's going to come. It's going to be spectacular. So look for it. And I'm going to make another video now. So thank you very much. Please subscribe and like my channel. Bye.